Branches lashed Wade Elliott's face as he hurtled through the forest. Thick clouds hid the moon. He'd already lost his bearings in the dark, but he didn't slow down. He skidded down a bank, scrambled to his feet, and kept moving. He had to get as far as possible from that room. The room he'd helped build. No. He was only trying to fix things, to help people. But they'd turned it upside down. Pain stabbed his side. His throat burned with the metallic taste of blood. He fell at the base of a pine tree, panting. Gradually, his pulse stopped pounding in his ears. He heard the trickle of a brook, the rustle of wind tickling the treetops. He rested his head against the tree trunk. He could hear, taste, touch. This was the real world. Exhaustion set in, but when his eyelids drooped, the things he'd seen in that room came back. No, he had escaped. He had to fight it. He couldn't let... A crow's caw stirred him. He gathered his bearings. He was outdoors, in a forest, under a misty gray sky at the break of dawn. He shivered. Had he slept? Was this real? He stood and paced, shaking stiffness from his limbs. He had to know for sure he was here, and that here wasn't all in his head. Balling his fist, he punched the trunk of the pine. His knuckles split and pain pulsed through his hand. It hurt. He felt it. He smiled. He punched the tree again. Again. He stepped back and stared at his hand. The flesh swelled and reddened. He savored the steady ache. This had to be real. He threw back his head and laughed and laughed. The crows laughed too. Wade looked up. A dozen of them sat in the trees, mocking him. "No!" he shouted at the birds. "You can't do that! Shut up!" "Ha ha ha!" they cackled. "Isn't this fun? Let's all go into town and watch it burn." "Shut up!" he shrieked. "Come with us, Wade. It's such a fun game. A murder of crows, a murdering we go." They rose from the branches and circled the clearing, above his head. A murder of crows, a murdering we go. Soon there were 24, 40, 50, 100. The sky darkened under a vortex of swirling black birds. Wade wept. It wasn't over. It would never be over. Not for him. He brought his aching, trembling fingers to the inside pocket of his jacket. Good. His journal was still there. He had to deliver it, show them the proof, before everyone saw the things he'd seen. If that happened, it would be too late. So he ran.